Garden update not that long ago, but they're doing so well, I felt like I'd come back for another go. So, again, these are sealed gardens. This one was on May 31st of this year. And if we get in there and get close, we can see that there's all kinds of life and activity. And they're doing pretty good in this window here. It's like a bay window with some good filtered lighting. There's a little bit of condensation and humidity in there. The layers are charcoal, stone, soil, and it just grows like any environment. And I kind of like reaching the top there, but it's doing pretty good. And I had these, and then I wanted to do a moss garden. We have a driveway outside, and it has some really good moss growing. So I decided to make a moss sealed garden. So we have these two, which have stones on the bottom, soil, and then the moss, which is doing very, very well in this window. If you look in there, it's like velvet. There's a little creature in there trying to get out. Cover that up. But if you look in there, it's amazing. It's doing very well. And it has such a fresh smell, like a forest. But I just wanted to give a quick update on those. You can check out the previous video on how they were made. But they're doing well. So seal those back up. And I have my pepper plants here. This is an older one, it's about 2 years old. I just cut it back and everything's dormant for the winter. But in the springtime, that'll take off and have all kinds of although there's blossoms and it's putting out flowers and still producing. But I planted some more here, so that'll fill in that pot. And then I have these, what are they called? Not lilies. I forget what they're called. But they're from the Philippines. I brought the cuttings back. And they died. But they put out some new growth from the roots. So they're doing very well. I know it's going to need a bigger pot. I can see that now. And I'll do that in the springtime, so I'll let these grow in the wintertime here. And then I'll put them in a bigger pot. Then I have my lemon tree here, which I grew from seed, which I'm very proud of. I'm very proud of the growth on this thing. It looks, look at that. This is about 3 years old. I grew from seed, and the leaves are healthy. There's thorns on there. And again, it's growing in this window, and it'll grow outside in the springtime. And these are my, 6 pepper plants here that I grew from seed. And I kind of made them canopied. I kind of went up the stem and I took off all of the growth for good air circulation in it. And then it has this little canopy of peppers at the top here. And they're constantly producing peppers. And they're doing really well here. As you can see, I had a purple patches in there, but I got rid of that. So those are my 6 pepper plants here that are doing well. They start out like this, and then they eventually turn to that red color right there. And they even get redder than that, like they get really red. But they put out blossoms all the time. It's a really good plant. And then I have some more here that are starting from seed. I'll thin those out and probably leave about maybe 3 in here eventually. This is another sealed garden that I have here, which is doing very well. That's a worm. Wow, that's amazing. Look at that. Look at the worm. That's kind of cool. I wasn't expecting to see that. But I did get the soil from outside, so. But that's a sealed garden. It's been sealed since June the 4th. But poor little guy. Look at him in there. That's amazing. That's kind of cool. All right. Then we have these here. They're growing pretty good. It was one in one pot, and I just took this one out. It's been growing here for about 5 months now, and it's done pretty good. And even put out a little baby on the side there. And then we have this ZZ plant, which is doing well. One of the leaves broke off, but when they break off, you just stick them in some soil and it continues to grow, and then it eventually will make a bulb under the soil and continue to grow. So some other little plants here which are doing quite nicely. So that's the plants there, and that's the plants there. There's something living in there. Look at that. That's kind of creepy. You're trapped, buddy. Wow, look at that. Look at that. That's kind of cool, but all right, that's an update. I'll come back in a couple of more weeks. All right, peace and blessings.